All right, so this is my first video about the deep relaxation meditation and meditation generally. We're going to be focused mostly on deep relaxation, and only when we talk about Qigong, which we're only going to deal with basic Qigong and basic Shiatsu, but only on those moments are we going to really look at the deeper elements of what gets kind of metaphysical maybe. So this is mostly just going to be deep relaxation meditation exercises, especially here in the beginning. And the reason for that is that deep relaxation um, i- is essential for good health. So our arteries, for example, they have smooth muscle lining them, and it causes them to contract when it tightens and relax when it opens. Excuse me. So every time you have tension, you've got a reduction of blood flow. You get the cold hands, the cold feet. Another example of this is of what tension can do, because it's also on the neural level, but a great example is what it does to us in terms of arthritis, for example. So if you take your knuckles like this, and then you squeeze, it's uncomfortable, it hurts. And then you relax. The pain goes away. And this is kind of what we're doing through our whole body. And through various versions of pain and trauma and just conditioning, what we were raised around, we develop postures. And a lot of our posture is actually habituated and not natural. So what I mean by that is maybe somebody who suffers a lot of pain does this a lot, pulls up those shoulders, pinches their face. I know I do it. I suffer a lot of pain. I do lots of little things like this. Deep relaxation reminds us to let go of all that stuff and to teach us how to let go of all that stuff. So that's what we're going to be focusing on initially, and some of the basics of why it's helpful. But it gets farther than that, because as we start talking about the movements of Tai Chi and Bakwa and Aikido, we're going to be looking at it as a forms of yoga, movement therapies. And my contention, and I will take this up with any kinesiologist in the world, PhD, come have your debate with me. But come and train with me long enough for me to prove it. Soft martial arts study the kinesiology of deep relaxation, and there's no art better for developing the root of that, which is a really, really solid kinetic chain, than Aikido. Studied as a yoga, not as a fighting style. So that's going to be my fundamental contention. You're going to have Aikido, when you start movement therapy, will be your really foundational movement, the way you move daily. Tai Chi will extrapolate out a little bit. You'll find some of your daily movements in there too. And then Bakwa kind of ties it together out on the periphery. So that's why we're going there. The actual study of the meditation is kind of funny, because it's really just observing. It's really just quieting your mind and really observing. So the goal will be to learn how to focus on a one point. Whatever your meditation is for the day, we're going to focus on that one point. For most of the time, most people in martial arts focus on the dantian, which is the lower belly, called hara in the Japanese. One way or another, while the videos are going, or whether you're on your own, you're going to focus on that meditation. Now, the videos are going to have instructional qualities, this one being the first one, but the actual videos, I'm going to meditate in them. Pseudo-meditate, because I'm going to process out loud what I'm experiencing as I meditate, so that you can listen to me and hear about the process and experience of meditation internally. Now, overall, you're going to want to hear these videos a few times, but you're also going to want to let go of the videos. They're basically, as you start to learn to meditate, you're going to find that your mind goes off into space a lot. And having my voice reminding you of what the meditation sounds like, feels like, where your mind should be, is going to draw your mind back and allow you to come back quicker than it might otherwise happen. You're just laying on the ground, you might fall asleep. And so much for that meditation. You're allowed to fall asleep as long as you keep meditating. Okay, So you're going to keep meditating. The videos, I'm going to pseudo meditate with you, talk about the process of instruction, or as a form of instruction, talk about the experience of it internally, so that you can have a sense of what happens as you're learning meditation, what happens inside of other people, your shared experiences. I've done these experiences with live groups quite a number of times, and we all tend to have certain shared experiences. There are some differences, and so you do want to be aware of these things. Okay, so when you do drift away, by the way, of course, my video is acting sort of like a crutch to get you walking again. Gradually, you let go of my videos, but at first they're to help you draw back. Now, when you do drift away, whether it's now when you're first learning or 50 years from now, don't be violent with yourself. Just relax, realize that you're off in space, draw yourself back to the meditation, continue the meditation. It is medication. It's a really good kind. But continue that meditation without letting yourself get ruffled. Oh, I'm no good at this. How I've been practicing so long. How come I'm not good yet? Or even getting too excited can draw you up and out. I've had, oh, I'm really doing the thing with Matama Shizame, and the next thing you know, you're like excited and it's gone. So there's a lot of layers to meditation. These videos, I'm going to cover about 5 of the best exercises I've learned for deep relaxation. And it's worth pausing and saying out loud, deep meditation isn't complete cessation of muscular activity. If it was, you would die when you relaxed. Deep relaxation is not a cessation of muscle activity. If you lay down on your back, totally let go of all skeletal muscles, your heart keeps pumping, your diaphragm keeps breathing, and without them you would die. So deep relaxation is not death. It's something else. It's bringing the very least amount of neural activity to any given activity, in terms of skeletal neural system. There are, when you're focused in studying in your mind, that's a whole different side of meditation. Again, we're going to be dealing with deep relaxation here in the beginning. Let me double check here. Oh yeah, let your deep relaxation be expansive, not contracted. So there are various kinds of meditations, and they take you different spots, and you're going to hear me repeat myself a lot because I'm vaguely obsessive and vaguely extremely repetitious, but that's good for instruction. But you can be hardened and in your dantian, and you can be hardened and really extended. And you can do hardened meditations. I learned to do them in hard martial arts long ago, doing Wing Chun and Muay Thai. That's the opposite kind of energy as we bring to soft martial arts, and what we're going to do for healing. So in hard martial arts, it's like, you really develop a fire there in your dantian that you fire off into those shots. And that kind of hardened meditation is not great for healing. There are hard qigongs that are good for healing, so I don't want you to take me wrong. But that is not what we're practicing. So when you find yourself wandering off, this is part of why you don't want to be self-recriminating, is you want to stay soft with yourself, and you want to bring yourself back to your, I keep pointing to my dantian that you can't see on the video, but whatever your meditation might be, we're going to start actually with hands as the very first one. But you just want to come back, and you want to have a gently expansive quality to your attention. So be expansive, not contracted. What do I mean by that? I mean that you're going to have a part of your focal point that is right there in that meditation. The part of your brain is going to be perfect there. Ideally, a huge chunk of your brain. But as the meditations expand, especially out from lying down, what you're going to find is that there's parts of your brain that can be here, and another part can be out here doing something else. You're going to learn to relate those in motion. But as you're learning deep relaxation, the kinds of things that might distract you are like a dog walking in the room. Don't get angry about that. Relax. it comes and licks you in the face, laugh. You want to be an expansive, loving heart and energy and aura. And again, another thing that can happen is as you're deeply relaxed training, you feel a deep relaxation, expansion through some place that you're not focused on. So you might feel one in your chest while you're practicing on your Dantian. Don't cut yourself off from that and be like, my meditation is here. Instead, let that release happen. Join with it to a certain extent, but keep your mind there. So there's going to be that dual mind that starts to kind of emerge. You want to learn to maintain a single point, but don't be rigid about it. Allow the expansive stuff to happen. Allow other things to occur, and don't try and be too controlling about these things. Okay, let me check my notes and make sure I haven't forgotten something key. Yeah, I think I got it all. I'm sorry that it's taking me so long, to my friends who've asked me for these. I could regale you with tales of horror on how hard it has been to just find the right time and the right place and the right everything to get this thing going. So I will be getting actual meditation videos out here in the next few weeks. Again, I recommend listening to all my videos at least once, repeating ones as often as you need. As you get good at meditation, you might find that on a rough day, you've gotten away from my videos for a while, you don't need them. You have a rough day and your mind's like, that's a great day to just go back and turn on one of those videos. So I'll try and make each of them about 10-ish minutes long. It's a nice, concise little thing. And yeah, we'll go from there. Watch the instructionals a few times, make sure you understand the points. And I'll see you later.